In my 11th and 12th grade years of high school, I went to cosmetology school. So I got my cosmetology license while I was being homeschooled. It was a good time in my life where my faith was tested. Am I going to succumb to the pressures of the world? When I was in cosmetology, I really had to, my faith had to become real to me. When the girls would laugh at me, I would just turn to them very cheerfully and say, "What are you girls laughing about?" I had to not let that bother me and press on with joy. And I believe that the reason they were laughing was just because it's different. They don't have a faith that was real for them. They don't have the love of Christ in their hearts. One day I was at home minding my own business, I don't know, doing chores or schoolwork or something. And the doorbell rang, and it was one of those girls. She came to our doorstep crying because she was going through a trial in her life. It threw me. I mean, I loved it because I loved helping people even way back then when I was only 17, 18 years old. And so I went right outside and sat outside with her in a lawn chair, and she poured her heart out to me. But it proved to me that although they may laugh and ridicule and make fun of you, they know who has the real thing. Like, they're watching. I actually met my husband in my senior year of high school. The girls there were so oohing and awing because I was coming with a diamond ring on my hand, and they're like looking at me like, I can't figure this girl out. She's a Christian and she's not sleeping around with all these guys, but now she has a guy that's interested in her, and she's, she's engaged and she's getting married. My husband had a totally different background than I did. He was not raised in a Christian home. He had a lot of baggage from his past. He just had a lot of insecurities, a lot of mistrust from past relationships before he got saved. So then I got married from this, sheltered home. My parents were very positive, complimenting people. Then I got married to my husband, and he was just a lot more intense. I struggled with a lot of insecurities from his past, a lot of baggage from being raised in an unsaved home. His dad had fought in the Vietnam War, and his dad committed suicide when he was only 5 years old. And his mom actually found my husband's father in the basement when my husband was in the home. And so he remembers the blood curdling scream of his mom finding his dad in the basement. And it was a difficult journey, the beginning of our marriage. It was very intense. It was a very, very difficult time for me, but I know that it grew my character. I felt lonely, actually, even though I had a husband that loved me and wanted to do right and was striving to do right. He didn't always know how to show that love. It was a rewarding life, though, because through it all, I learned to trust in Jesus. And I don't know if you know that song, through it all, through it all. I've learned to trust in Jesus. Our one son, like I said, he's in a relationship, and they'll probably get married sometime in 2025. My husband is a pressman. He prints, and for over 20 years, he was in the commercial printing industry. And there were some times that something he would print that would come to his press to print, he felt convicted against it. One time it was all about, Planned Parenthood and abortion and different things that he didn't agree with. And so he said, "I'm sorry, but I can't print this." And he got fired for like a week, but then they wanted him right back because he was such a good worker.